Don't forget your ropes, everybody. On this episode of the Nerd Confessions podcast, we're talking about Uncharted, The Lost Legacy.
Whoa. Oh, God. I won't say out because I'm a man's man.
You're a handsome man?
Because you're a handsome man.
I'm a man's man. I'm a roper.
Confessions.
This is Snake. Colonel, can you hear me? Loud and clear.
I am very turned on right now.
Oh, Hal, you read me?
I'm sorry, Dave. I'm afraid I can't do that.
Sir, I know this may finish me as an acting ensign, but
Shut up, Wesley.
shut up, Wesley.
This is a very good composition.
Hey, everybody. Welcome back to Nerd Confessions, our safe haven where we discuss our thoughts and opinions on everything nerdy, geeky, techie, and whatever. It's been a week since our last confession, but before we jump right into it, we'd like to remind our listeners that you can follow us on our various social media platforms, find previous episodes, and view bonus content on our website, nerdconfessions.net.
.net.
I'm William, the moderator for this episode. I'm joined today by Ellie,
Hello.
Soheil,
What's up?
and Tommy.
Hey.
Tommy's sad. In this episode of Nerd Confessions, we'll be talking about the 5 most recent nerd news topics important to us and Naughty Dog's latest masterpiece, Uncharted, The Lost Legacy. Stick around until the end of the episode if you want to hear some of our listeners' confessions. If you want to send us a confession, you can email us at contact@nerdconfessions.net or send us a tweet. So for starters, let's talk about what everybody's been up to this week. Tommy, what have you been up to today? A lot of fun.
Yeah,
Let's talk about it.
to us.
If you decide to buy a Nest, don't fucking do it. Just don't fucking do it.
How about you get someone
It's
that
garbage. It blows up. It's bullshit company. I also played Ages of Empire 2 HD Remastered.
You like it?
It was okay.
Do you play as the Persians?
No, I played as the Vikings, and then I got over it really quickly.
Well, you need to play the Age of Empires.
There was too much multitasking to do. Watch this, watch that. I felt like I was babysitting. I got really pissed off. It's a little easier playing a game, for example, like StarCraft, because there's only so many.
There's only 2 resources.
Well, you got minerals and you got gas,
And then you have
and you have
population.
food. But food is honestly, you just build a thing and it's done.
There's no
but
food.
It's the supply depots. But once you build it, you're good. Whereas in this, you have to physically hunt food, fish, chop down wood, stone, gold,
Best part
get
about
people, upgrade shit, and then you need more fucking people.
Once you get farms, though, it helps out a lot.
Sorta. I kept running out.
I made tons of farms, and I used houses as the wall around the farm so they wouldn't get invaded.
The best thing to do is build towers everywhere.
I just want a mode where I can
kill
just
everyone.
build shit unlimited. That'd be kind of cool. I also watched the season finale of Game of Thrones, which was really amazing. I also Mayweather and McGregor fight, which I was very upset with.
Why?
Two cats hit each other very slowly.
Let's just move on. I also, I think that's it. And I played a bunch of Ark, and finally the game launches tonight. The official launch. Although there's still a lot of shit they got to keep updating, and they're going to keep. I'm amazed at how large. This is like the biggest game I've ever seen in my life. Like, they're dropping gigabyte updates. They said it's intentionally supposed to be literally 100 gigabyte game and more. It's going to eventually be like the first trilobite. Yeah.
That's a lot of game.
It's a lot of shit for a game. But it's like the maps are cool. The graphics are getting better.
Trilobite. I know what you're saying.
Yeah. No, what's after giga?
Terabyte.
Yeah, first terabyte. That's what I was trying to say. Terabyte game.
Tommy's dying today.
Wait, that game's gonna be a terabyte big?
Probably.
on a PC.
Oh,
probably.
my God.
Yeah, on the
Assets,
consoles it
all
still sucks,
assets.
but the PC's really good. That's the thing. It just the lag is nowhere near as bad as Xbox. You get occasional lag, there's like a few seconds, and then it's done. Most of the time,
you need
I don't
to cut
lag at
that
all.
down. You need to cut that.
It's supposed to
1
be pretty
terabyte
good
game.
on Xbox One X, though, according to the developers.
Well, we haven't seen it yet, but the game is a whole lot better. I also am still waiting for God of War.
Oh, yeah.
I'm waiting for that shit to drop.
But
And
if you were a man, you'd be playing Uncharted Lost Legacy because that's a good filler until God of War comes out.
if I was a man, I would be playing that. Yet the main character is a female. So
Yeah.
what?
That's why.
Only a real man can play a female character as a protagonist.
Yeah, it's not bad. I like.
You can also play a female in Ark.
So Hill, what else did you do? What did you do
Always
this week?
with the ARC comebacks. Yeah, so this week I've been playing Kerbal Space Program. I reinstalled it on my PC. I used to have it as I bought it actually before it became popular, and it wasn't even on Steam. I bought it when they first were developing it. It was only $10, $15. That's how much I spent. And I started playing it again, and they added a whole bunch of stuff. So I started building up my ships and going all over the place. Landed on Minimus the other day, and that took a lot of work.
One of the planets is Minimus.
It's past the moon. It's the first planet past the moon.
Oh.
So I passed the Mun. Sorry, the Mun, the MUN. And I went to Minimus. That was pretty hard. Actually, it took me a lot of tries. Watched Death Note on Netflix. Don't have much to say about it. I don't want to say anything about it because if we're going to probably talk about it, I don't want to talk about it now.
Oh, cool.
Matrix, rewatched it because it's on Netflix.
The first one?
First one, second one, and third one.
Oh, the whole trilogy.
The whole trilogy is on there.
What about the Animatrix?
I don't think it's on there. It's really good. I watch Animatrix too, but I watched that one. I have the DVD somewhere in the house.
Oh, same.
But the Animatrix is really good. It explains a lot of backstory possibilities. So if you have a chance, watch that. Other than that, I only played a couple more PC games. I call Company Heroes 2. I went back and played that a little bit more.
Right,
and
he'll play
also,
with you.
And then also Cold Water is not done yet with that game, but I'm playing Cold Water still.
Cold Water looks cool. Playing a submarine underwater.
Yeah, as a Cold War submarine.
Cold War.
Yeah. Cruise missiles, baby. Cruise missiles.
Ellie, what did you do?
Breath of the Wild.
And
And I watched that scary movie with the doll, Annabelle
fuck that.
2.
Did you like it?
It wasn't bad. I mean, it was a very, very simple story plot, but it did scare me. I got, children and demonic figures.
Children as demonic figures.
Children with
as demonic
figures?
I think
yeah,
just
that's
children
just
in
the
general
worst.
scare you.
It's just scary. Just scary.
You know what else
it's like
is scary?
Children of the Cornfield. That movie freaked me out.
You know what else is scary?
What?
Having no air conditioning in the heat. That's a pretty scary
It
thing.
doesn't feel hot right now.
We'll get there.
We're on an iceberg.
You know?
And the best way to think about it is that you could always go.
It makes you want to go out into the world.
Into the hot? Yeah.
No,
Yeah,
you know
yeah,
a good thing about
That's
doing
why
it?
you have a Switch so you can play it in the world.
You could take it with you to the local mall and be a mooch and mooch off their beautiful air conditioning. Mission Viejo
Yeah.
Mall's calling for you.
And you get a really good smoothie.
Or I can just break into my neighbor's house.
Well, for myself, I watched Annabelle Creation. I played Uncharted Lost Legacy, and I got the Platinum Trophy for it.
Ooh.
the hard
Platinum Trophy. Yeah, you have to play the crushing difficulty to get that, and then get all the collectibles.
How long did it take you?
Probably like 10 hours.
Mm-hmm. And you what? What else did you do?
I also played Mass Effect Andromeda. I'm working my way through that.
Oh, nice.
Oh, cool.
Cool. And continue to get through that. I'm almost towards the end, but I had to play Uncharted, like I said last week, so I wasn't able to make it to the end. And I'm continuing to go through Games of Thrones. Games of Thrones.
War of the Roses.
Where are you?
Season 3. Still.
Oh.
Didn't have much time to watch it. Uncharted Lost Legacy's cutscenes are so good. Don't have time.
Ooh, baby.
Hazel Hill, was your vinyl record red?
No, mine is for the first one. I have two Guardians of the Galaxies. One Guardians of the Galaxy 1. That one's red, and it's a deluxe edition. Then I have Guardians of the Galaxy 2 1 that's black.
Then it's Deluxe 2, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's stupid.
I just want to get naked.
I don't know why it's red.
Because it's cooler that way.
Tommy just wants to get naked. So with that, let's get into the news topics of the week.
Bitch ass motherfucker.
Oh, man.
Oh.
Okay, so first topic for the news. We have Ark has an official release, which we didn't mention earlier. It's going to official release tonight. Developers internally, before it was released, had crossplay working between Xbox and PlayStation. But Sony's not playing nice. They don't want to allow that crossplay. And because of that, at launch, at least, it's not going to have a crossplay between Xbox Live and PlayStation Network.
Because they're too busy dealing
There's
with
also
the
another
bots.
issue. If you play on Steam, which most people do on the PC, you cannot play with Xbox either. Because that crossplay is only supported by the Windows 10 version of the game, not the Steam version of the game. So only if you buy it from Windows 10 can you play with people from Xbox, because they both are owned by Microsoft.
Right, so you have to have the Windows 10 version of the game.
Or Xbox.
And the feature is going to coincide with the release of the Xbox One X. So at launch, it's not going to be available.
And that's until November.
Right, so we're going to see crossplay between Microsoft, the Windows platform, and Xbox, but PlayStation, we won't see that until Sony plays nice.
Yeah.
Which is kind of sucks, because I remember everybody was saying at first it was Microsoft that wasn't playing nice, and
Yeah.
now all of a sudden it's Sony.
And Sony's too busy dealing with their bots they have on their chat network.
Oh my gosh, so many bots.
It's
Just
bad,
trying
dude.
to fish a login out of you.
That's so sad.
So you'll get like one message from somebody just randomly on your PSN chat saying hi, or Ellie, what they tell you?
I like turtles.
I don't remember.
I think they told you you're stunning. To try
You're
to
a
get you.
stunning
you, William.
person.
Okay, that's what they told you.
You
to
know
get your
what's
attention.
Oh my gosh, you're stunning. Are you busy? Hi.
Yeah, I got one that says, "Are you there?"
Are you there?
Which other
Hello.
ones? Yeah.
Hello. You know what's kind of sad though? When you look at the artwork for Ark, if you were to scroll up
Okay.
on the page, you see like it looks really kind of Jurassic Parkish. It looks really cool with
And
the
doesn't look anything
torches
like that.
And in the game is really nothing like that, because
Look at those guys in their underwear riding the pterodactyls.
would the wooden foundations really wouldn't last you, or the wooden buildings don't really protect you much.
So you don't end up using them very often because of that.
I mean, really?
Yeah,
if
and I
you're
don't even know what those walls are. Those aren't even.
honest,
I think this is like concept art that we're looking
Yeah,
at.
this is
here.
a way more concept art. Even
Honest-
their it's funny when you look at like their video of the announcement. A lot of the stuff is just like built stuff that looks cool, but like they really focus around PvP. And if you look at PvP bases, is literally just a bunch of boxes and triangle or boxes and pyramids covered in turrets and shit. That's
Yeah.
it. There's no like.
It's all about self-preservation.
Yeah, the only time you see like really beautiful kind of builds is in like modded servers. Like for example, they have a server where they have castle structures. There's another version with S Plus where a lot of the shit you couldn't do in the regular, you can actually do. I made like a really cool pirate ship. I was like absolutely stunned. I was like, damn, this is cool as hell. It looks like a real pirate ship. Whereas on the official, you can't do half that stuff. And the mods are mostly made by gamers.
Mhm.
So we know what we want. And
Yeah, the fans
hopefully
know they
it
want
looks
best.
like Ark is slowly taking stuff from them. Like the newest map is from the players. It's a player-made map. So maybe Ark will sit back and be like, yeah, you guys make it, and then we'll let you host it. Kind of like, remember, was it Dota? Dota was a fan-made.
Mm-hmm.
And then eventually
from
became-
Warcraft.
Yeah, and then eventually it became like this huge
Well,
kind of
it's kind of changed. The world's changed a little bit now. Hopefully, those mods will make it to consoles, and hopefully, the consoles will have crossplay. Next
Right.
news
Yeah.
topic: Samsung Galaxy Note 8 has been announced, and they showed specs and had hands-on with a lot of people that
Looks like
were
garbage.
at an event to show it off. It has some pretty cool features. It has dual cameras both in the front and the back.
It's like garbage.
It has a button that looks a lot like an iPhone button now. It has a little like a little square on it. I would say, yeah, but except the lines are not connected.
Looks like garbage.
Supposedly they fixed the battery problem, but it's gonna have a 6.3-inch screen.
No exploding batteries?
Yeah, remember the Note 7?
Yeah.
Well, this might be exploding screen. or exploring dual cameras.
Well, love that pen.
The stylus is back. It has curved edge screen, just like the
Notes
S8s.
S8s, yeah.
Have like what they had with the started doing with the edge. I don't know. It looks like it might be a cool phone. Hopefully it works out well for them because they have a lot to make up for after the 7 terribles problem. That was 7.
The Note 7 really hurt them really bad because everyone had, real big problems with the battery and they didn't let people fly with it, and then it's really bad.
Oh, so I was wrong. It's only one camera in the front, but it's a dual 12 megapixel cameras, one wide angle and one telephoto for kind of zoom in on the back of the phone. It's got 6 gigs of RAM, so that's quite a bit of RAM compared to before. I remember iPhone just recently got 2 gigs of RAM.
Yeah.
But it's Android, so it's not quite as efficient.
It's going to need to use it all for their
It's got a headphone jack and USB-C.
Wow, look at that.
It's got wireless charging.
Wow.
So it's got a lot of cool features.
Look at that. It's a pretty color. It's like almost like a lavender.
So why does it have dual cameras?
The iPhone 7 Plus has it too. One's
For
zoomed
depth.
in, and the other is wide angle.
So they have 2 different lenses, essentially.
Yeah.
Cool.
And
So-
it also gives you a chance to do the, what's that called again? That something VR version?
AR.
AR, yeah. Augmented reality.
Yeah. It helps a little bit, yeah. Because 2 cameras, you can sense depth between the 2.
Cool.
Next news topic. So we got a new short from Overwatch, which is really, really cool.
Nice.
And with that and the release of the short, we also got an announcement of a new map and some other big developer features, like some retweaking of things. But the short is really cool. Let's watch it real quick. Probably not the whole thing.
I like me May.
It's heavy on the ice girl. Forget her name. Is that me?
Ice cream lady.
Ice cream lady.
We're still in the middle of this massive ice storm. It's crazy. We missed our resupply window and we're low on rations. So Captain
so happy about
Okara
it.
is having the team
She's very optimistic.
hibernate.
Come on, May. Cryo chamber time.
Already?
An hour ago.
Be right there. Bye.
Why would he give her coffee if he wants her to sleep?
We're running out of food, so hibernate. What the hell?
This is the character in the game that freezes people. So,
She becomes Mr. Freeze, essentially.
kinda.
In a pod deep in space. Is that a Samsung?
怎么这么冷啊?
Sorry?
She's Chinese.
She was speaking English earlier.
Get up,
She looks like Ellie right now.
Snowball, how long have we all been asleep? What?
What?
No! Overwatch would have come for
You
us.
see the shirt she's wearing? The Olympic
Sit
Games.
down?
Yeah.
Nobody even knows we're here. Wait a minute. Where is everybody?
She just realized nobody else is there. What's she thinking this whole time?
Holy shit, they're all dead?
Yeah.
It's pretty sad, yo.
9 years worth of data.
Looks like an HDMI
Save
input.
millions of lives.
It does. Maybe that's the future.
I'll take a word
All
to
data
the
through
world,
HDMI?
my friends.
High definition
I mean,
transfers.
I will try.
There she is, full suit.
Oh man, that's
the
the
dish
fur
is
from Ark.
broken. How do we get this data out?
Really, Art?
What the hell? Yeah, you just might have to throw this shit. I've seen that in a cartoon. Time lapsing? Time lapse? Oh, she's smart as shit.
These are usually origin stories.
Oh no.
Look, it happened to me too.
Come on.
Except instead of AC being off, it's the heater that's off.
That was the last battery, wasn't it? I can't believe I forgot about the batteries. Without power, we're dead. There has to be a way. Think.
Self-sacrifice.
Self-sacrifice of
Need a
Snowball.
little more time. No! Snowball!
What is stupid snowball?
But it's a robot, so it doesn't have itself just like saved. Its essence is still there, just no battery. I don't understand.
It's dead. It's
Okay.
dead, Will.
But the battery ran out.
It's
How's
dead
it
like my
The
AC.
point is she has no one to talk to.
It has no hard
She'll
drive.
go crazy now.
Oh, I see.
She can always talk to herself.
Is there a bottle of Betty Whip at the bottom?
Pretty much, I have my voice.
Come on.
See, all the
come
inputs on the thing are
come
HDMI.
on.
I don't get it.
Wasted? Oh my gosh! Come on!
People decided they were better off without us. They even called us criminals. They tore our family apart. But look around. Someone has to do something. We have to do something. We can make a difference again. The world needs us now, more than ever. Are you with me?
Yes, Winston.
I am with you.
I am with you.
I won't be able to talk to him for 5 minutes. I'm so sad. So what'd you guys think of the short?
It's pretty good.
Did you like it?
These origin stories are pretty fun to watch.
Yeah, they're pretty fun. I think my favorite one is still
Bastion.
Yeah, for
same
sure. Yeah, with the little bird. Do you remember that one, Ellie?
Bird, yeah.
Plus, there's a lot of murder in it.
Cute. Yeah,
a lot
kill,
of
kill.
a flashback of murder.
Bird,
Yeah.
bird, kill. Kill bird, build, kill.
Do you appreciate this character more now that you've seen that short?
No.
Yeah, not really. I don't like to play as her that much.
I don't like
personally.
Overwatch.
I don't play it at all.
She's not my favorite because she's more like a weird defensive counter that I don't understand how to use. So.
She's going to be annoying as hell putting up that ice ball.
She's an idiot.
Yeah, well, she also puts ice cube blocks around up and then hides in them, so it's really difficult.
Yeah, that's difficult because she heals.
Yeah.
Next news topic. Age of Empires 4 was announced by Microsoft.
Yeah.
So Age of Empires 4 is coming. It looks really cool.
What era do you think this is in?
I think from what I was reading about it, it seems like it's going to be like it is for Age of Empires 2.
So medieval style?
Yeah, going from medieval to kind of like towards modern. You can see it too. It looks like you have the Romans and stuff. So I think it'll go from like
That
Dark
is
Age
the
to
Renaissance. I'm just kidding.
That looks like the Revolution.
Rome's? Yeah, it goes up to the Revolution.
So I think it's
you
all
get-
all
you
their
get, like,
games
real guns.
combined, I think.
Yeah. Seems like it. It goes up to...
Must be a big ass game.
Yeah, the Revolution. Oh, and you have like Japan, feudal Japan. Which is pretty
That
cool.
one's going to be pretty cool, especially with that Oda flag.
After they
Takagawa.
announced this and had the announcement trailer, they announced that they're also going to be releasing Age of Empires 2, Age of Empires 1 HD remake, a definitive edition that's coming in October.
So when is this coming out? Any
October
ideas?
19th.
This one?
No, that's for the Age of Empires definitive edition. It's coming out October 19th.
Oh, this is gonna be 4K?
Yeah.
That's the
a 4K
first one.
remaster for the first one.
Oh wow.
And it's coming out on their Windows 10 store. Windows Store. They're really pushing that Windows Store.
Windows 10 store.
No date announced for Age of Empires 4. Just they're saying that it's coming. That's all they're saying.
It's coming.
Yeah, it's pretty good. You're going to see some... So that's a pretty fun game series, so...
They're only on computer.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, it's only on a computer.
Yep. That's where RTSs are best played anyway. Next news topic.
True.
So, a patch has been released, and
Who cares?
you're now able to
Splatoon,
do
right?
Yep, Splatoon 2 and Mario Kart though.
That's actually kind of cool.
Oh yeah, Mario Kart. What did they do? Did they add another course?
No, they added chat through the game, but only for LAN play.
That's stupid. Who cares?
Well, that's okay. That's okay. It's a good step.
It's a step in the right direction, even though it's probably taking resources on the Switch directly with that they didn't account for because they wanted you to use the phone. But the problem is that it has problems in of itself. The using the LAN voice chat, the volume is too high. I think it cuts out every now and then, and it has a lot of room for improvement, according to IGN's article here. Because I haven't tested it out myself. According to IGN, Reggie Fils-Aimé, they asked him why they wanted to use a mobile app, and his response to that was that we want to reinforce the capability to take your experience with you on the go. The ability to do matchmaking voice chat through your phone, it's a hell of a lot more convenient than having a gamer headset stuck into your backpack trying to do that. That's why we're doing it that way. We see the convenience. We see the ease of delivery. We think it's going to lead to a better experience.
Doesn't make sense.
Doesn't make sense.
Because my phone's going to die. And if my phone dies and I'm out and about,
why don't you just plug little mobile headphones just like you would for your phone into your ears? It doesn't make much sense to me. Not at all.
Why would I have a gamer backpack? I don't like that excuse. That excuse needs
I
to
like
work
having
on.
a gamer backpack, though.
Oh, no, I said I don't want a gamer headset in my backpack. I don't care.
I want a whole thing. Like, oh, look how cool I look.
But I don't see the difference.
But do you need it? Like, do you have to have it?
I'm saying if I take my Switch with me, I have my little bag. I'd rather have like a little set of headphones so I can play on the go. First of all, if I want to chat with somebody, I'm not going to use big, giant headphones anyway because it doesn't make sense. Because I want to be out and about. And I want to be hiding with a microphone on my face.
Yeah, I mean, if you're... It doesn't make sense to add one more device I have to plug your headphones into. If you're going to use headphones anyway... For voice chat, why not just... It doesn't make sense.
It's another thing. Nintendo thinks that people really have friends, which they don't really have friends. So why would people have LAN parties? It doesn't work.
No,
so
it doesn't
Nintendo,
work. Well, people have friends, but it's hard to get all your friends together.
I was joking. It was a joke.
All right, so that's the news topics for the week. With that, we're going to jump right into topic of the week, which is Uncharted: The Lost Legacy.
Yeah, baby.
All right, so Uncharted: The Lost Legacy. For those that don't know, it's an action-adventure game developed by Naughty Dog. What else has Naughty Dog done, Sohail?
Last of Us. They've done Uncharted series. They've done a lot of cool stuff like Crash Bandicoot. They've done other crazy stuff.
Yeah, Crash
too.
Bandicoot was like one of their first games, right, on original PlayStation?
Yep.
Yeah, so they've done a lot of stuff, and they're most known for their very cinematic games. A lot of people are big fans of them, especially PlayStation owners, because they're always exclusive to PlayStation.
And their games are cool.
Yep, and their games are cool. So this game was released this month, just last week, August 2017, for PlayStation 4, as a standalone expansion for the Uncharted series from Uncharted 4. It was originally planned to be DLC for Uncharted 4, but they decided to do a standalone, so you don't have to own Uncharted 4 to be able to play it.
Nice.
Which is much like infamous Last Light. I don't know if you played Last Light.
I did, but that was free to play, I think.
Yeah, but you don't have to own Infamous 3, I think it was, to be able to play it.
Yeah, it has its own story, but you kind of would like to know.
It really benefits just like this. If you played Uncharted 4, you will be able to follow a story. Just like if you played Infamous 3, you'd be able to follow one story for Last Light. So the player that you're controlling in this game is Chloe Fraser. Do you remember who she is, Sohail?
Not really.
Not really?
Yeah.
Everybody's favorite Uncharted game, I think, they are very nostalgic for, and still a lot of people prefer more than Uncharted 4 is Uncharted 2. And that's where you meet Chloe. She's the dark-haired girl that you kind of run into that game. You don't really run into the character from the first game, which you won't see in Uncharted 4 and Uncharted 3. So she's kind of the main character of this game. They decided that it should be based around a secondary character in the universe. And she's looking for the tusk of Ganesh in the Indian mountains. And it's
Ganesh the god, right?
Yep, Ganesh.
The
with the elephant head.
It's definitely not Ganesh the house pet.
Yep. The house pet.
Excuse me?
What?
Do you have a house pet named Ganesh?
I don't know. No, I don't, but I'm thinking about it now.
What is that about? And it's in the midst of a civil war, so there's a lot of rebels and a lot of military running around.
What civil war?
A civil war inside India.
Yeah, everybody wants Ganesh for themselves.
Well, it has nothing to do with that. But
Okay.
There's a lot of mythology around Ganesh. Supposedly, Ganesh takes away obstacles and makes things easier for you. So a lot of people like to worship him because to ask him to make things easier for them or something like that. And the tusk is kind of a symbol of power, and that's what they want to kind of get it for. At least that's what they're telling you in the very beginning of the game.
Sounds familiar.
But what's interesting is that Chloe Fraser is teaming up with Nadine Ross. Sohail, what is Nadine Ross from?
She's from the fourth one.
Yeah, Uncharted 4. She's the kind of military character that is teaming up with the main villain against Nathan and Sam
Kind of like
Drake.
the guide, right? She's like the guide.
She's the head of the military,
Yeah.
which is hired by that guy to get the pirate treasure, which is in part of Uncharted 4.
She's kind of a badass. She's kind of a fighter. She's kind of got a cool style to her.
Yeah, which I'll kind of talk a little bit more about that later, but it's kind of interesting how her character changes in this game.
Nice.
So Naughty Dog began developing The Lost Legacy following the release of Uncharted 4 in May 2016. Initially exploring narrative ideas, Kurt Marganeau and Sean Eskag were chosen. Eskag?
Okay.
Escape?
Eskag. It's E-S-K-C. Sorry, E-S-C-A-Y-G. Eskay?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Sounds like risque.
Anyway, they were chosen to lead development as game director and creative director. Marganeau, or is that one silent too? Because there's a G in there.
Yes.
Marganeau. Is it French?
Made that up, right?
Marganeau. I don't know. You're the one that wants to go to Paris. Marganeau was selected
I'm going
for
to Paris for sure, though.
Okay, well, Marganeau was selected for his knowledge of programming and passion for gaming and interactivity. Well, Eskay. Is that really how you pronounce it?
No.
Okay, Eskage was chosen for his understanding of the narrative structure. The game's original score is written by Henry Jackman, who previously composed Uncharted 4, while the development of the team initially contemplated creating Uncharted 5. So it'd be interesting that they make a whole new Uncharted 5. That'd be very quick to kind of jump on that.
But without Nathan Drake.
Yeah, because his story is supposed to end, right?
Yeah.
They ultimately opted to create a downloadable content DLC for Uncharted 4, which they decided would be a standalone. So The Lost Legacy was announced at the PlayStation Experience event on December 4th, 2016. We were there. We all remember that, how excited the whole crowd was.
Everyone was really excited.
I was half asleep.
Well,
I was wide awake.
Ellie had hardly any sleep because she went to a party the previous day.
That's true.
And I slept for 2 hours.
Yes.
It seemed to get a lot of screams and cheers, but it also... I
was like, whatever.
People were kind of confused on what it was when it first started, and then they figured it out.
Yeah, because unlike in the game where you can see her hair and everything, she had a scarf around her, so you couldn't really even tell who it was.
Right.
And there was no hint of this is Naughty Dog. There was nothing. All you saw was
cool though.
Cutscene. So it was very. As soon as you saw Nadine, and I think she had fro hair. I'm not sure.
She had the same hair she had.
Same
now.
hair.
Yeah.
Well, I think
everyone
you could
just
still
noticed
tell
when their face turned left, and you're like, oh, it's Uncharted.
Yeah. Everybody got really excited. So that was really cool when they announced that. A gameplay video was released later that year. Sorry, not that year. The next year, which is 2017, April 2017, revealing the release date and announcing pre-order bonus, which is you get Jak and Daxter, the Precursor Legacy, which is emulated on the PlayStation 4 for free when you pre-order the game. Which I got. I haven't tried a chance to try it yet, but it's cool that you get an incentive like that.
That's really a cool incentive. So, does it look good? I know you haven't tried it, but have you seen anything about it? Does it look good?
I think it's a port of the PlayStation 3, so it look just like PlayStation 3.
Okay, so it's not really crazy upscaled or anything.
Yeah.
Like that. Okay, cool.
It's not going to be 4K or anything.
Got it. Yeah.
So the team initially experimented with Nathan Drake being the protagonist of the Uncharted games as a secondary character for Lost Legacy. So it'd be him and Chloe, and not Nadine.
But that doesn't work.
But then they decided that kind of feels like his story is supposed to end with Uncharted 4. So why is he still around? Let's make it all about secondary characters. So that's when they decided that they should involve Nadine.
It's a good way to make an expansion, in a way.
Isn't Nadine like basically a character that was really liked in the last game because she was kind of a badass? So
yeah, she was very badass. And that's something I want to touch on a little bit later. But yeah, so they decided that Nathan should be a part of this. I don't want to spoil anything, but there's some other characters that they're really cool that they bring into this that are part of Uncharted 4. Redid a lot of the moves and animations to fit a female protagonist instead of a guy, like a kind of not instead of being a brawler, because of kind of different tactics to the fighting.
Right. Maybe use more finesse instead of brute strength.
Right. So this story is kind of set a while after Uncharted 4, and it's kind of like a pickup. And you get some of the story behind Chloe, which would have been during Uncharted 3 and Uncharted 4. And they make her look a little bit older. You can see she has a bit more lines around her eyes, and she's aged a little bit more.
Yeah.
So this DLC is a lot different from the Last of Us DLC, Left Behind. I don't know if you played that, but it actually took place in like a missing gap of the story between what's his name?
Sully?
No, in Last of Us.
Jimmy?
Oh.
Gimme?
Shoot,
Jimmy?
another character.
Did you say gimme?
Yeah, it's not coming to my brain right now. But the main character guy, was injured, and then the girl was picking up his slack. Ellie was picking up the slack for him.
Joel?
Yes. Joel when he was injured and helping him out.
Always an Ellie.
And that's
to the
what it was
rescue.
about. And there's also some flashbacks to her past as well. So that was really well done. But I think overall I enjoyed this one more than that one, even though it was very good. In my opinion, they originally envisioned the length of The Lost Legacy to be similar to Left Behind, but as development pressed, they realized the game was going to be a lot longer than anticipated, and the estimated length of the game is about 10 hours.
Wow, it's
Instead
not
of
bad.
what estimated?
And I think the length of
6
Left
hours?
Behind was like 4 hours.
Yeah, I was gonna say like
But
3.
But this game, if you're just playing through the actual story content, not going for any of the sides or any of those other side things, that it would just be 4 hours too. It's only when you do the side stuff that it gets that whole 10-hour gameplay time.
Right. It's probably because when you're doing a collector, it's going to take you even longer and longer, so quadruple the time.
Yeah. So Claudia Black and Lara Bailey portray both Chloe and Nadine, and they are the original actors for that. So the voice actor and motion cap for Nadine.
Nice.
From Uncharted 4
motion
is
cap
doing the
looks
same
great,
thing for
too.
Nadine, and for Chloe and from Uncharted 2 is the same actor that's doing her as well, which has a very, very, very heavy smoker voice.
Right.
Very, very deep.
But the mocap in this game looks good.
Yeah, the animation is amazing. Just like Uncharted 4.
Is it done with mocap?
Yeah, a lot of it's done with mocap. Well, most of it, I think. Very little stuff would not be done without mocap. Uncharted and Naughty Dog's really known for that. Like when you go up to a wall, your character will kind of touch the wall, and it's all natural kind of motion. So the only thing they would do without mocap is kind of the transition to the animations, I think, and they make it very seamless. They're very, very good for that, with the way they do that. So the game's actors regularly contributed to the development of the characters. Co-writer Josh Schur found that the actors were more familiar with the characters' motivations than the actual writers, and they actually had a lot of feedback in the way the story and narrative progressed. When returning to the character, Black was intrigued by the events that took place in her life between Uncharted 3 and Lost Legacy, so they kind of speak to that in some of the way they're talking. And the character Chloe changed quite a bit from Uncharted 2. So Uncharted 2, she was kind of like, Nathan was the more emotional one than her.
Right.
She's kind of like more of a thief, kind of not thinking with as much more morality as he does. But in this game, they give her a kind of a different incentive to follow something through. She would not be so selfish, and that motivation is family. So there's something in her family, something in her past. I'm not going to spoil the story, but there's something in her past that's giving her motivation to find the tusk of Ganesh. Something that's kind of needs to be solved with her past. That's her motivation for this game.
Yeah, because you can't have a person that's kind of a bad background have a long character life in a game, because you're just like, oh, she's
Yeah, you need something about that character that makes you feel for that character.
Or connect to the character.
Right. So here's where I get to what kind of drives me crazy about Nadine in this game. The game's main antagonist is Asav, and he is portrayed by Usman Ali. When he was when he was preparing for the role, Ally met with Eskeg to discuss experiences with despoting regimes.
It's
despotic regimes. I meant to say that had their roots in what was perceived as a noble cause. Eskeg compared Assad to Mexican medical surgeon Jose Manuel Morales. Having seen the documentary Cartel Land in 2015, Ally described Morales as someone who had the charisma and belief in his people to rise up and lead a resolution of sorts. So he is in a very mindset that weakness can't exist. Everybody has to be strong. Anything that's weak has to be cut off, destroyed. So this guy is kind of like very hard-headed. He's very muscular in build, very strong. And what drives me crazy about this character, again, not spoiling anything, but Nadine struggles to fight this guy. So Nadine was able to take both Sam Drake and Nathan Drake and Sully and his wife, not Sully's wife, Nathan's wife. At the same time, they're all fighting, going through all kinds of crazy stuff, and it was just Nadine that they were fighting against. So this crazy person is able to take Nathan on like nothing. Nathan who kills millions of guys.
Yeah.
And she struggles against this one guy just because he's buff. I don't understand. That doesn't make sense. It's just a weird writing thing for me.
Or maybe there's a personal relationship that they'll sprout into another game.
I don't know. Maybe it's just the mindset for Nadine right now.
Somewhere along, I think
she did some research on him, and that you kind of hear in the beginning of the game.
Interesting,
but yeah, I don't understand. I understand it, but it's annoying because of the way that wrote her character to be that crazy with judo.
Yeah,
knowing her judo, good sir, and all the and not being kind of indestructible. You punch her, she punches you back like 3 times as hard. It's because she's not the villain this time around. So you have to have a villain you can struggle against. So it's kind of annoying, but at the same time, I get it. While the previous Uncharted games followed specific historical figures such as Marco Polo and Henry Avery, The Lost Legacy instead focuses on the region surrounding philosophy and culture due to the shorter development team allowing less intensive research. Because of this, unlike the previous games, there is no historical quote in the game opening scene. The writers particularly focused on Hinduism and the surrounding mythology when researching for the story. With The Lost Legacy, the team aimed to include slightly more fantastical feel from the first 3 Uncharted games, which was absent from Uncharted 2 due to the grounded story. So there's kind of like more kind of surreal power kind of a thing to this game like you would have had with Uncharted 2.
Oh, nice.
And Uncharted 1 especially was like very surreal, especially toward their end. I don't know if you remember.
When it changed at the end, I was like,
I don't know if you remember that. Yeah. That was really weird. Escape found that the game's smaller scope allows for a better opportunity to explore in each individual character and their stories and viewpoints. He also attempted to demonstrate characters' emotional state through gameplay. The story of The Lost Legacy allowed the team to explore gameplay elements that were scrapped from Uncharted 4. So that's, I mean, they're usually like reusing concepts that didn't actually get to fit into the previous
and
game.
it's cool because you can see it, but that's all I have to say.
Let's talk about my favorite part.
What's your favorite part?
The art design.
The art design? Okay, let's talk about that. So while some of the large open areas in Uncharted 4 were limited by the game development schedule, Naughty Dog updated the production process to allow for 5 teams to develop one location at a time for Lost Legacy. So they had a lot more opportunity to put into effort into the open world. So like the Western Ghats is open world for this. It was like the African area. I don't remember the exact name for it in Uncharted 4, but this open area in Sahara Lost Legacy is a lot more detailed than it was in Uncharted 4. You have different areas they have to go to. There's actually like a side thing you can do that's optional, completely optional, not just collectibles. Is actually something, and I think I can spoil this because it's not a big deal. So if you do this side thing, collecting medallions and unlock this treasure, what it does, if it gives you a little bracelet, and that bracelet makes noise when you're winning your treasure.
Oh, that's cool. So it helps you.
Yeah. I always like when they do that. I like with with Assassin's Creed 2, they first introduced that you can buy maps that will show you where the collectibles are.
So you can
appreciated that so much better than not knowing where Assassin's Creed 2.
Oh.
You could buy maps like physical.
You could buy
maps?
like maps with all the information on
And
it.
that ever since then they followed suit with Assassin's Creed 3. You could do that. The following Assassin's Creed 2s, the sequels to it, Revelations and
Brotherhood and-
Yeah, you could do that in there.
Oh shit!
And
The
I think
one
you
in
could do that in the
Paris,
Pirates
you
one too.
can't.
Yeah,
The Pirates one they did treasure maps.
Yeah, you could do it. You just need to find them, or you had to like do little games to get.
But I
pieces
really
of other
appreciate
things.
that they incorporated that into the game instead of making me look online for it.
Yeah,
Because
The one in Paris doesn't have it.
they made it a little bit different to
And there's,
where
like,
you go
millions
buy
of
it
them.
and it'll show up on the map. So Unity is a little bit different that way. But I'm hoping with the Egyptian one that they reintroduce it. But back to Uncharted.
By the way, the Egyptian one also features Julius Caesar now.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
well,
Yeah,
that's
they're
kind
gonna
of
kill
weird.
Yeah.
So is Rome and Egypt.
That's cool.
So all players have the ability to control the character and camera in the game. The developers said they did their best to focus the visual storytelling. So one of them, the art director, Tate Mossian, said, quote, "There's very little that's random. We sought to take advantage of the color and composing shots in the game. So there's a lot of scenes where kind of the seamless cutscenes, right? So you're just walking around, immediate cuts a cutscene. So
That's nice.
a lot of visual
And it's very
storytelling.
seamless and beautiful.
And there's a lot of tricks they do to get you to pay attention to certain areas. So even though you have free will, you're encouraged to look at certain areas. Like they have that ability to where it says press L3 on the controller and it averts your gaze to whatever you're supposed to be paying attention to.
Right. Art design people want to see their art, man.
And this is kind of cool. The team purchased a lock-picking set
What?
Nice.
during development to assist in the implementation of the in-game lock-picking mechanics.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, so
They're like Disney now.
this is something you end up doing a lot in the game, and something that is kind of around the character of Chloe that they changed because Nathan would probably just bust a lock open or shoot a lock,
Right.
while Chloe would probably just be the kind of lock picker, right? So that's why they kind of made that gameplay change. I
Right.
think.
And it's much more interesting because it can give you like a little bit of a surprise element too. Because if you don't get it, someone might be coming around the corner.
Yeah, buddy.
Yeah, so that's all we have to talk about as far as the development, what the team was thinking about the game. I really enjoyed the game. I like the development they had between Chloe and Nadine. Both of them have a large departure in their characters from the beginning to the end. There's a lot of development there, especially in their relationship between the two of them. There's a lot of growth in between the characters and becoming a better person, and the storytelling is great. Again, it's not as extensive as Uncharted 4 and with Nathan Drake and how he was a dick, but then he redeemed himself with his wife and all this other stuff. But it was great. It was a great story. What do you guys think about what you've seen so far of the game?
Visually, it's stunning from what I can tell, and it looked exactly like what they showed us at a trailer at PSX, but they made some small tweaks to it, some visual tweaks, but meaning to the character.
But like not having the thing on her head.
Yeah, but at the same time, the game is pretty good looking. I mean, it's pretty nice. It's got a lot of like
Those
little
lights.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the lighting effects are pretty awesome.
It handles very smooth. It's 30 frames, but I think the whole game is 30 frames per second. But I think they took a lesson or a cue from Horizon Zero Dawn with this game
Okay.
and added some really good motion blur, better than Uncharted 4. At least it seems like that to me because Horizon Zero Dawn, which is developed by Guerrilla Studio, Guerrilla Games. They added a really nice motion blur, especially when you're scrolling around in the circle, and it felt very similar to that when I was playing this. So even though it's 30 frames, it makes it feel closer to 60 frames, at least when it's in motion.
Motion blur.
Everybody's falling asleep.
Motion blur helps with your PlayStation. Keeping the frames up.
Well, no, it has to do with your eyes. So like when you're watching a movie and it's 24 frames, to
Right.
make up for that, they have like a motion blur. To kind of make it look better for your eyes, because motion blur is kind of the interweaving frames a little bit, so
Right.
it's kind of the same thought process there.
Okay.
So it's without using the frame rate tricks, it's a way of making it more smooth, motion more smooth.
I like the textures.
You like the textures?
Yeah,
I like the lighting effects. I think the lighting
No,
effects
yeah,
are
Yeah, lighting was
this is
awesome.
probably some of the best lighting I've seen in a night scene in a long time. It just goes, like even from like the reflection of the water since it's raining. I feel like you see that.
The level of detail is good. The artwork is great. The functionality looks great. It's seamless. It's in the genre now of where it blends between cinematic and gameplay, which makes it really fun. It seems like a crazy cool story, and it's got a bit of Assassin's Creed meets kind of Indiana
BioShock.
Jones / Bioshock feel.
Well, a lot of people would argue that it was
So it's a pretty good game. I give it a 10 out of 10.
inspired by Indiana Jones and Tomb Raider.
Oh, yeah.
It looks like
Tomb
Tomb Raider for sure.
BioShock for sure.
Oh my goodness!
And especially Assassin's Creed. A lot of the movements reminds me of Assassin's Creed.
Well, it's 'cause
like
there's
that
a lot
wall
of-
jump that
there's
she's
a lot
doing.
of climbing. Yeah.
Hardcore Henry reminds me of Assassin's Creed.
Oh my
Oh my
goodness!
God, all these
Ellie,
connections.
So
Oh, there's gonna be a screening of a bunch of movies, and one of them is gonna be Hardcore Henry in theaters.
where?
I'll find details.
Okay,
Stay tuned.
find
Cool.
details for me, please.
We're gonna break all the lights.
That's the one thing I don't like, though, where it tells you, like, oh, push X here.
Yeah.
I kind of want to, like, be able to
You
just-
can turn that off though.
Okay, yeah. I would kind of
It's
want
just
to
to help
just try.
the player when they're playing.
because sometimes it's so like
Sometimes you can't. And then
yeah, the problem is that the game is so interactive with certain items. You just like they'll be like, oh, I can do that over here, maybe, and then it's
Yeah.
like, no, can I do that over here, maybe? No. So
towards
they're
the towards the end of the game, they don't tell you that as much, but in the beginning of the game, they'll tell you that because they want you to know I have to do this. When towards the end of the game, you get to know, okay, if I see this white line on a surface, I can jump to that surface, climb to it.
right.
Sweet.
Well, that's
So-
always
stuff
been
like
in
that.
Uncharted, though, right? White lines.
Yeah, like with Tomb Raider, is like boop
White
or poop on
lines of
on
cocaine.
rocks,
yeah.
kind of make it stand out.
So I give this a 9 out of 10.
Wow.
oh, you said 10 out of 10, not 9 out of 10.
I only give it a 9 out of 10 because I never played it.
And you're not allowed to play. You're not
Excuse
allowed
me?
to rate it because you haven't played it. So I'm the only one that actually beat it and played it here. So
Who died and made you God?
That made you good.
I would say it deserves a 9 out of 10.
See?
And
You agree with me.
Yeah. Well, the reason it doesn't get a 10 is because there's some story inconsistencies,
Right?
like with Nadine not having the
That's true.
ability she had from the first one. They should have done something like given him some more people more than just himself to kind of explain why that Nadine has that problem. Or maybe he shot her in the leg and that's
Or
why
maybe
she's...
a lion should just ate him.
Maybe what?
What? A lion should just eat them.
Or maybe there's going to be a spin-off game for Nadine, and that's what they're trying to do.
Well, I'm saying give Nadine a handicap to explain it.
Yeah, that's-
if
that's
she
what
was if she was like crazy strong in the first one, maybe like in the first encounter with her, she gets a ligament torn or like something like that happens to her, and she's not as strong as she was when she was fighting Nathan and Sam.
Yep,
Right.
that's what I was
all gotta
telling
say.
Ellie about.
Do that and add a little bit more content. I don't
Yep.
know, actually. Just like small little gripes make me want to give it a 9 because the price for the game was $40.
That's not bad.
And
$4?
$40.
Yeah, I heard
Oh, I
four
was like,
too.
4. I'm
It's-
buy that to the
It's,
night.
it's not
$40.
it's not $60 like Uncharted 4 was. Obviously, it's not that extensive. It doesn't have that variety of levels,
Right.
but you get a lot for what you pay for.
Yep.
True.
So if I were to rate it out of 1 through 5, because I can't do 1 through 10 because I haven't played it, I'll give it a 5. 5 meaning that it looks pretty, and I would play it.
Nice.
Nice.
I agree with Ellie. I agree with everything Ellie said. You know, yeah. It's the same thing, you know.
If
Nadine,
it looks
man.
pretty, and you would play it, right?
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, I want to play it now.
I would play it more if she was in a bikini.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
So
You gross.
Tommy said bikini, so that means it's time for
Bikini time?
listeners' confession.
9 out of 10 for that game,
What does it
Bo.
have to do with bikinis?
Has everything to do with bikinis.
So, listeners' confessions. Our first confession comes from Husky Dante.
Hey, Huskadante.
What's a husky Dante?
Yahoo!
So Dante is the character from
Devil
what
May
is it from?
Cry.
Devil May Cry.
Yes, it is. Main
so
character.
Husky Dante's tag is at Dante Husky. Wait, Dante_Husky because he contacted us via Twitter. He said, Hey, Nerd Confessions. My confession is that whenever I play or whenever I listen to Halo 3 soundtrack, I get a small tear in my eye. The nostalgia of MC.
Dude, I do too.
I think MC
That's
would mean Master
cute.
Chief.
I'm guessing that's what that means.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially when he was just like kind of floating away at the end there.
Oh, yeah, when Cortana put him into ice cryo sleep.
Yeah.
wherever
That's
it was.
adorable.
It's pretty sad.
They should have ended it right there.
The soundtrack's pretty nostalgic. It's true.
It's very
Especially if you
nostalgic.
played Halo, especially if you played Halo 2 and then you waited for Halo 3 because you knew that it was going to be the end of Master Chief because of what they sold it as. They kept saying the Master Chief may not come back from this, and they kept having like Master Chief being held by a brute and then Master Chief's head being moved around like a little toy and talking to the crowd. It's like, I'll finish this. And I was like, oh man, he's going to finish the fight. So
Well,
it was
obviously,
sad.
Right there.
Bungie can't put a direct, hey, this is Master Chief in Destiny, but there is a scene in one of the Destiny DLCs where there's a bunch of cryostasis pods, and your ghost can go up to one and scan it, and it said this warrior defeated tons of people and he put himself in cryo sleep or something like that and is waiting to be awoken again for the right time. And everybody's saying that's of course Master Chief.
Right. Master Chief's so cool.
Like, so, I mean, that I would like to think is the Master Chief that we all know from Halo 3 and that Halo 4 didn't happen.
Yeah. Halo 4
Yeah.
was pretty sad. Halo 5 is even worse.
You know
Yeah.
what puts a tear in my eye?
Are they working on a Halo 6?
Halo
6, yeah, that puts a tear in my
Sorry,
eye.
Halo 4 is the last one that came out with the 2.
Halo 5.
No, Halo 5 came out.
Because
Yeah.
Halo 4 was on 360.
Yeah, Halo 4 or 5 just came out on Xbox One.
The Halo 5 was okay. It's just the two characters.
I just don't.
was
I don't
weird.
like the jumping around. Just man.
Yeah.
It got too crazy, yeah.
So, Dante, we have a follow-up question for you if you want to tell us.
Are you a fan of the Inferno?
What does that mean?
What?
Dante's Inferno.
No.
Oh, he said it was a Devil May Cry.
No,
I know, but I'm just saying, are you a fan of the Inferno? Shit, get off my nuts.
My question is,
Yeah, I get it.
thinking about Halo 4 and Halo 5, does that take that tear away? Does it make it suck right back up into your eyeball?
What the hell? Suck
just-
back up with your eyeball.
Yeah, you know, like
Moving
when
on.
somebody's really trying to not cry.
I've never seen.
They're really
tear
trying to not
suck
cry, and
into the eye.
they like try to suck up their their teir back into their eyeball.
Maybe get like a straw
seen
and
that
suck
before?
someone's tear off, but I've never seen.
That's
Husky
something
Dante.
hardcore Henry would do.
Or Husky Dante, would you like to see Master Chief be put into
A bikini.
the next?
Okay, Tommy's dying.
He's dead.
Next
So
Devil May
let's-
Cry as an enemy.
Oh, boy.
Okay, let's talk about our next listener's confession, which is from guess
Spencer Moore.
Spencer _Moore 13
Hi, Spencer.
from Instagram.
Hello.
So his question for us is, it's cut off. Okay, here we go.
How much wood could a woodchuck chuck?
That's not it.
Come on,
Who
this
would
is
win
gonna
in
be
a battle
good.
between Wolverine and the Hulk?
The Hulk.
The whole. Just kidding. No, the Hulk. I know the Marvel has covered this. In fact, they've made an animated film about it. But I want the real nerd's opinion.
That's hard.
It's
Because
the
the
Hulk.
Hulk is
So you
like
got
super
the-
strong.
But won't Wolverine die if he gets beaten up to the point where he's broken like completely?
Like if they put him into different pieces, then he's
Well,
dead.
he's the same as technically like Deadpool in a sense, where
I think
he can
he's-
regenerate and stuff.
I don't
but,
think he regenerates as well as Deadpool, though.
So I think utter brain damage will put him out.
I think it doesn't has like adamantium.
But he has the adamantium, which is supposedly indestructible. So
Right. Well, the Hulk
It's hard.
Hulk can smash.
But
it depends on like what version of the Hulk we're talking
Well,
about.
is that
here.
indestructible in the entire universe? Because Hulk can essentially destroy planets at one point, which we're gonna actually see.
That's what Will was talking about. It's like, which Hulk are we talking about? Are we talking
There's
about
a lot of
stupid Hulk
variations.
that only knows how to beat people up?
If we're
or
talking about
crazy strong gray Hulk.
if we're talking about Wolverine from the movies
versus the Hulk from the movie.
versus any Hulk, I think
He's gonna die.
It could be the movie. It could be the Hulk from the TV show. Do you remember that Hulk?
Yeah.
It could be that Hulk versus that Wolverine. I think Wolverine would lose because all it takes is Magneto putting up his hand like that, and he can bend his claws. You remember that?
Yep.
I was like, that shouldn't happen.
But that we're
with
not talking
adamantium.
about Magneto. We're talking about the Hulk.
Here's how
and
the Hulk
Wolverine.
would win.
I know,
He
but I'm
punches
saying-
him so hard he goes into outer space and then he suffocates to death. oh shit.
Oh, that's true.
Can't recover from that.
Well,
bitch.
all I'm saying,
then
that
if we
Wolverine is the weakest because Magneto is able to change his skeleton. That's all I'm saying.
Also, the Hulk could just ball him up into a pile of sheet metal and throw him up. Like here,
Yeah, you just ball him up and then shoot his ass to the sun. Disintegration.
Well, I don't think the Wolverine has much of a chance because the Hulk can't feel that much pain, because he can't really get hit.
The Hulk gets stronger as he feels pain. So it's like
Gets angrier.
I think
You're
it's
just
a
gonna-
difficult connection.
it's like fighting
'cause
a
I think the
Saiyan.
Hulk will win, but I
What
think
if the Wolverine put on a wig, he sucked it up, put on a wig, and looked sexy, and then calmed the Hulk down, and then he stabbed him?
wouldn't work.
Oh, right. That you're right, because I remember, at least in the cinematic universe, Eric Bana said that he shot himself, and the green guy spit the bullet right back out. So maybe,
it's connection.
even though he tried,
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They shot the Hulk into another universe, basically, and he still survived, took over the planet, comes back, fucks up Earth, kills all the Avengers. Yeah, he's gonna. You can't beat that. You can't. I'm sorry.
yeah.
And he's friends.
I
with
love
Thor.
Wolverine, but when it comes to terms of that, you're looking at a creature that's like fights gods.
Yeah, and this is why Thor
Wolverine can't even take on the.
This is why Thor is a good match for Hulk.
Yeah, exactly. Because he can take it.
Yeah,
Or can he?
but here's
We'll find out.
what do you think about Superman versus Hulk?
Superman's gonna win.
Superman would win because he can fly.
Well, the
Hulk
can-
just jumps really
Hulk
far.
can jump really far.
Yeah, but he'll just take Hulk into
Superman
the
is
air,
like-
spin him, and throw him, and
Superman's
he's
like the ultimate person anyway. Like all he has is the kryptonite thing, and you can't really like say that. Someone always has like the weakest person in the world always has some kind of kryptonite in their pocket.
gone. What's the Hulk's weakness?
Nothing.
Well, he doesn't
usually-
have one, does he?
Usually,
Like
it was the
love
fact that
calms
he
him
had
down.
too much anger, and then like love or something like that calms it down, and then.
But that's
he's
not
no
a
longer
weakness.
Hulk.
He's still strong.
His weakness is that he destroys everything he loves. That's what his weakness is.
But yeah, but in the fighting
But
fighting
also his
sense,
weakness
like
is he's stupid. So he's like always.
no, he's
pushing.
not because of the
Yeah, because-
veneration that he speaks straight up English and
that's
has a
different.
family.
I mean, like there's versions of him where he's so dumb that he destroys things that he like his own family members. So
no, but you're looking at like more of a story wise.
No, I'm just saying if you
I'm
think
saying
about
if
it,
you're doing
that's his
Superman versus Hulk, Superman has
Superman can breathe in
kryptonite.
space. He's crazy.
What?
Superman can breathe in space. He like goes and flies.
So
in
can
space.
Hulk.
I don't know.
That's why he survived. Going.
I think when he's
What if
green,
with the
he
Hulk-
can, but as a
yeah,
human, of course.
yeah.
Yeah, it's human. He's dead.
I mean, if you take Superman, could
So
turn,
Superman would win.
Superman could turn around the space and time. He can make time go backwards by flying around a planet.
What if
Again,
they threw
that
Superman
depends
into
on
a
the
void?
version of Superman we're talking about.
But if you throw
Superman.
Superman into the void and it's pure darkness, there's no sun. Doesn't he lose power?
yeah,
So he's done.
But we agree, though, the Hulk and Wolverine is the Hulk.
Yeah, I think it's the Hulk.
So the Hulk.
so I hope that answers your question, Spencer Moore, and I hope that we answered your question well, Husky Dante. And if you would like to send us your confession, listeners, you can email us at contact@nerdconfessions.net or send us a tweet to @nerdconfessions with zeros replacing the O's because someone stole our name on Twitter.
Boo!
They didn't steal it. They had it.
They
We
stole
want
it.
though.
No, I'm telling you, they stole it. Well, that wraps up this week's confession. Join us next week for more discussions and opinions on things that pique our interest. If you have any confessions you would like to discuss, feel free to send them our way. As always, we want to thank all of our listeners and followers for tuning in and supporting us. Share us, like us, review us, subscribe to our YouTube channel. Whatever you want to do, every bit helps us grow. And don't forget,
When did this get up here?
that's a coaster. And don't forget, you can find our previous episodes and view bonus content on our website, nerdconfessions.net.
.net.
So next week, I think what we're going to cover is Mario Rabbids. At least we're going to play a little bit of it.
No.
No.
Party game. We're gonna play
And
it.
second thing, I'm thinking The Tick.
No.
It's Prime.
It's free.
No.
It's going to be a bad
Prime, I don't
thing.
get it for free.
It's going to be a bad thing, but it could be interesting. I love the cartoon. I'm sure a lot of people love the cartoon.
I like the cartoon too. I kind of like the show that was in the 90s too.
Yeah. So let's give it a try. If we want to do Death Note, but we need our expert
fuck that.
Cherie to be here to be able to discuss that.
Death Note looks so stupid.
Well, so The Tick and Mario Rabbids next week. Recording Monday.
Bye.
And on Tuesday,
Bye.
it'll be out.
Bye.
We'll see you guys
Love you, everybody.
next time.
Bye. 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 Bye.
That's a lot of buys.
Bye-bye. Bye. Are you gone yet? Go away. Adios.
Like turtles.